As SAFC plays host to Loudoun United, zeros across the record, and we're ready to get this new season of USL Championship.
Including racial or sexist comments or other intimidating actions directed at officials, athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Please refrain from throwing objects on the playing field, entering the playing field, and interfering with the flow of the game. Violators may be arrested and escorted off the premises. Thank you for your cooperation. Please welcome tonight's match officials, referee Katie Robinson, assistant referee Noah Kenyamwani, assistant referee Brett Howell, and the court official Melvin Vila. Tonight's matchup features Loudoun United FC and your San Antonio FC. Let's see the starting lineup for the visiting Loudoun United FC. Goalkeeper number 23, Loudoun. Defender number 2, Keegan Hughes. Defender number 3, Keegan Tinky. Defender number 6, Kwame Awuah. Defender number 24, Jacob Valencia. Midfielder number 4, Tommy McCabe. Midfielder number 8, Florian Below. Midfielder number 12, Drew Scummridge. Forward number 10, Khalil Al-Menhal. Forward number 14, Zach Ryan. And forward number 17, Cristiano Francois. Head coach for the Lions is Ryan.
It's the start of a new season in San Antonio, Texas, as SAFC plays host to Loudoun United. Zeros across the record, and we're ready to get this new season of USL Championship football underway. A pleasant good evening to everyone. I'm Carl Schoening, along with Katie Goodman and the rest of the production crew. We're happy you joined us. Katie, nothing quite like opening night.
Nothing like it. I mean, it's a beautiful night for soccer, a little chilly, but man, I wouldn't have it any other way if I were out there on the field. And lots of new faces, a new season, new faces to go with that new season. It's going to be interesting.
Staying at the helm of both teams for SAFC, we talk about Alan Marcina. He is certainly excited to deal with, as you said, new faces. He's had 14 to try and work into this roster. Right,
14 new guys. It feels a little bit like collegiate sports here. Those guys are used to dealing with roster turnover year after year, but it's a little different here in the USL. It's going to be a challenge to just match that record that they've had for previous seasons, but I don't doubt it with a coach like Alan Marcina.
On the other side, Ryan Martin returns at the helm for Loudoun United, and he's dealing with 7 new faces as they try to work in a lot more experience into their roster, trying to bounce back from last year's disappointing season. But coming up for SAFC, coming back as a key fixture of the team, is somebody who led USL Championship in goals last year, in Jorge Hernandez.
Jorge Hernandez, he's that golden playmaker guy for the USL Championship last season. San Antonio FC definitely would not have gotten as far as they had if it were not for Jorge Hernandez. 10 assists on the season, and just a brilliant guy. Was playing at the center of the park last season. Let's see where he plays this season.
And another player to keep an eye on, this time on the Loudoun United side, is Zach Ryan, as he's somebody who had a strong showing in the preseason.
Zach Ryan, he's that guy that everyone's circling on the sheet right now. He was responsible for the tie goal in the 35th minute the last time Loudoun United played San Antonio FC, and he's continuing his second season here with Loudoun United as well. So again, he's somebody that we know. Coach had mentioned that when you are preparing for a game like this, when it's 2 totally different rosters, you have to watch the players and see what they're doing. Scratch all the analysis. There are no games to look at, so you have to look at the players and see what are they going to do. And I can guarantee you most guys aren't changing up the way they play.
Well, Katie, what are your expectations for SAFC this season?
Oh, well, I'm hoping all good things. We don't know if it's going to be the same system that we've seen before. It could be anything, really and truly. I mean, a whole new faces. And if there's anything I know about good coaching is you're not just throwing a system at people to throw a system at them. You're throwing a system at someone based on what their strengths are, what their ability is. And there's so many new faces, a lot of guys bringing very different stuff this season. So we're going to see, I think, some, I would say, evolved soccer.
Well, fans starting to pile in here to Toyota Field, and kickoff is moments away here between Loudoun United FC and San Antonio Football Club. Opening night here from Toyota Field on Valley Sports Southwest.
Celebrate the vibrant history of Hemisphere one more time at home as the San Antonio Spurs take the court in our City Edition uniform. March 31st at 6 p.m. Spurs, Warriors. Tickets at Spurs.com or the Spurs app.
Lionel Richie. And Earth, Wind, and Fire. San Antonio. You're invited to sing a song all night long. For the first time ever, Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind, and Fire together in one magical night you don't want to miss. Frost Bank Center, June 4th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
3 nuns were driving through Austin and they got a flat tire. They stop in front of a Frost Bank. Next thing you know, a Frost banker walks out and changes their tire? Hold on. This can't be real.
It's a real story.
And the nuns?
Yeah, they weren't even Frost customers.
Dude! You think I can be a nun?
Not a chance, sister.
Who can tell me what they want to be when they grow up? Rico?
Are you seriously gonna have nachos for all?
Welcome back to Toyota Field as SAFC and Loudoun United are about to get underway here to kick off the new USL Championship season. Let's take a look at how these two teams are going to line up, starting out with the home team, San Antonio Football Club. They'll have up front Lambert, Agudelo, and Hernandez. Manley, Hawkinson, and Silva with Abu in the midfield. Burks, Gomez, and Tainter on the back line. And Cisniega in the back manning the goal as we look at Loudoun FC. Ryan, Elmakar, McCabe, Francois, Skundrich, and Valet up front with Erlitzson, Awua, Tingley, Hughes, and Farrow in the back. We're about to get started as wearing the white jerseys with the windmill for the red is Loudoun United. On the other side in the striped black uniforms, it is SAFC wearing their home kits. Velo about to get things underway as he is waiting for the okay from our official, and there it is, as I think he psyched everybody out there a little, Katie.
You know, it's the start of a new season. Tricks are around us, but it's also really easy to get excited. Good to see things have kicked off and are ready to go.
These are two teams that have 7 new faces to work in on the Loudoun side and 14 to work in on the SAFC side. And it looks like a throw in here for SAFC on a physical play on the sideline.
That's another question that I have as well is, hey, is this going to be the same physical team as we saw last season? So many new faces, but, you know, a lot of things don't change, such as principles, culture, things like that. So are we still going to get that physical mindset, die-hard mentality here from San Antonio FC?
Kendall Burks since far ahead there to Agudelo, and SAFC gets it into the attacking third. Nice ball as Hernandez was just tripped up a little on his way, and now he tries to win it back on a slide, and I think he'll be called for the foul there as it was kicked out of play, but I believe it'll be the foul and a free kick for Loudoun United.
We'll have a look back at that. This may have just answered that question I had about the physical nature, and of course, Jorge, being one of those returners, goes in, doesn't look back. I would say it's all ball, but I think the sliding just stopped short there. And it looks like, hate to speculate, but he is holding his right shoulder. You have the physio out there giving him a look.
And obviously, a slow of momentum here for the injury pause. And I think Jorge Hernandez felt like he might have been fouled, but obviously had a chance to play a little bit to the advantage. And then he comes back with the physical play himself that leads to this eventual free kick here.
It's looking like Keegan Tingy may be the one holding his shoulder there. From Fresno, California. Played at Stanford.
That is Keegan Tingy, as Tingy will step aside from the match for the moment, and the free kick will be handled by the man starting in goal, Hugo Farou.
As mentioned, he played at Stanford, not only with Drew Skundrich, but also Keegan Hughes. There's another Keegan on the team, both coming from Stanford. So that's a huge difference maker there when someone can make their way into a whole new team, but having known someone and played with someone, I myself have been in that situation where half my club team came over to a different team, and it was a very different experience, of course, with a different coach, but it's nice having that familiar person or familiar people to be around who do know how you play, and there's so many levels to that are very important.
Tingy seems to have shaken it off here as he hands it off to Skundrich, who will throw it in. Skundrich surveying his options. It'll be bounced around and picked up by Jorge Hernandez down the left sideline. Sent it middle, and the one touch will be bobbled a little bit there by Agudelo and then sent towards the opposite direction and a little bit too far ahead for Cristiano Francois to catch up to.
We'll have a look back at this last chance from SAFC. Doing a great job getting out wide, looking for that open pocket in the middle, but you have Loudoun closing things down pretty quick there.
Francois ended up having a one-touch, deflected, and then a foul was called, as I think Francois was the one who was hurt, but El Medkar might also have taken some damage, as you could have your pick. Well, it looks like SAFC is going to be physical again, Katie.
Well, that sounds about right. I mean, culture doesn't change here, and yeah, it's a pretty chippy move there. Gutsy, but it was that kind of tenacity that really got them really far last season. That kind of no-nonsense mentality, so to speak.
And it sets up a dangerous set piece here for Loudoun United. In the 5th minute, perhaps the best opportunity for either team here.
Francois, more of a 1v1 guy, likes to take people on the dribble, get in behind. Makes sense that they're going with Florian Velo here. Although I wouldn't doubt that Francois could put it away all on his own.
Velo will send it in. The turn and the shot is skied, and sigh of relief there for SAFC as Erlinson was unable to find anywhere near the crossbar.
Have to have a look back at that.
Well, this is a little surprising. SAFC decides to keep it short.
Lots of pressure up there to play short.
Manley will have it deflected out on his pass intended to Shannon Gomez.
Might be an attempt to stretch the field there. Anytime you're playing short with pressure around, you're just trying to find some seams, and something that I've picked up on so far. I can't get my words out. The thing I've picked up on so far is that SAFC is playing with a little bit of a different formation here. It's not as direct as you would imagine. They're sitting back on it. The play is a little bit slower. They're trying to, what looks like, bait the other team in. So very different look.
That's what I was alluding to. SAFC usually just has their keepers send a boot across and try to develop something on the other side of the pitch, but that time they kept it short, and it leads to a Loudoun United opportunity here in the attacking third. Nice back foot there to pick up by Zach Ryan, and then it'll be picked up off the turf there by Cisniega.
Cisniega with the save. Coach Marcina had a lot to say about him. He thinks it'll only be a matter of time before he makes his way back to the MLS. They're very lucky to have gotten Cisniega, such a quality guy, not only on the field but off the field. Great person indeed.
Cisniega will allow it to come to his feet. So far, the aggressors certainly been Loudoun United as they're pressuring here on defense. They're trying to bounce back from a 7-23-4 season last year, Katie. They didn't make the playoffs, and it's obviously a situation where everybody has high expectations coming into opening night.
Right, but also you have to manage those expectations, because for a lot of these guys, they're just getting here just in the nick of time to join the game, right? And so how long has their preseason been with the full roster? There's still people making their way to both SAFC and Loudoun. So it's going to just be one of those games for both teams where you just start looking at who you have, what people can do. It's a time to try to solidify your mark on the team and your spot. And I would say, you could say, hey, this is a high pressure, but it feels more like a bait and switch to me.
SAFC last year averaged possession 44% of the time, and on the other side, 49% for Loudoun United. And it just, we talked about it being a new team with new faces, but certainly a new style being implemented here in the early goings for SAFC. And that might be, something that we talk about a good chunk tonight, as this is the real opportunity. This is the real game. Obviously, there have been a few opportunities to work it out in the preseason, but nothing quite like the intensity of points on the line.
Well, I think the mark of a good coach is evolving season by season, and that's something Marcina has made very clear during his time here in San Antonio. I mean, started out with the team, decided to integrate that high-pressure mentality, direct style. That wasn't always a boot across the field. Sometimes it was a couple short passes right down the center of the park, and he did it really well, and it was hard to stop. I mean, they became conference champions, and then they made it to playoffs the year after that. I mean, I'm going to get tongue-twisted if I try to tell you all the trophies they've collected since he's been here. But it's worked for him. And so when you see someone like him trying out a new style, you can't help but wonder what he's seeing and why he's doing it.
Very direct play here, though, as Jorge Hernandez will catch up to it in the attacking third. Gets it on a one-touch back from Silva. Here's Tainter. Pass deflected and a through ball well ahead here to Francois. Francois caught up to by Mitch Tainter. Cuts back, looking for the cross. And sails over the 6. The cycle of service. Headed out to the penalty yard. And a foul there as too physical on the defense. Tingy will be whistled and SAFC gets the free kick.
Francois with the cutback. I think he had me fooled on that one. That was some great stuff there. And of course, I was going to say Mitch Tainter with that stride, catching up to him, slowing him down, but it was that fake. And oh, there's the foul. Push both hands behind the back. Not much to plead to the ref for about. It's pretty obvious.
Not many people think they actually commit fouls. Silva with the cross. And cleared to touch. Throw in for SAFC.
Lucas Silva de Santos, there to take that throw in, has put in quite a bit of work. He's really a 5-yard to 5-yard guy, box-to-box player. Really handles that the outside, the touch line so well, which is going to be key here in this new system. So if you notice, using the flanks quite a bit.
Faroux will pick it up. And I don't think I've ever seen SAFC under Alan Marcina on a throw-in in the attacking third retreat all the way back to the keeper just to reset the spacing. So obviously something that's a little bit different for SAFC fans to keep an eye on as well.
Right. I can imagine that it's thrown the other team off quite a bit as well, considering the past 2-3 seasons he has had that direct approach.
Burks. Part of that slowing down mentality here is the back line will have it shift around to Carter Manley.
Right, you can see it's intentional. It's not because they're under high pressure, and Loudoun is picking up on that by sitting back, forcing them to lose a bit of rhythm. So well played there from them, just that situational awareness.
Tainter's pass is intercepted. Francois couldn't keep it. Tainter back to Burks here.
Makes sense here why we've got quite a few new faces on this roster, looking more like a possession team, no doubt. It's one of those situations trying to go in and then out.
Francois picks up the loose ball. Sends it out wide here below. High in the air. Ryan in the penalty area. Tried to sneak a pass, but it got intercepted by Carter Manley, and then Shannon Gomez will draw the foul.
Shannon Gomez, Carter Manley, Mitch Tainter, some of the few along with Mohamed Abu who are out on this field that are from the previous roster. And talk about surviving that turnover. They must bring something very special and unique to the table. Marcina had mentioned it's not only that they're those key pieces on the field, but it's that culture piece. Mitch Tainter, recently named captain, is really that guy who just handles it in the locker room. He was voted by the team to actually wear that captain band once again. And
Francois fouls Mohamed Abu and a free kick here for SAFC. And Mitch Tainter unanimously picked to be the captain. And, you know, the 29-year-old has been here since 2020. So captain sleeve last year, June 10th against El Paso Locomotive. And I'm a little surprised that he ever had to give it up, because he certainly is a leader. And I think last year in the unofficial stat keeping that I did, he led USL Championship in coming to the defense of his teammates.
Oh, right. I can imagine being first in the middle of it as the feisty player that he is, defender of the year.
Jorge Hernandez in penalty area. One touch here to Silva. Looking for a strike. It's a goal for SAFC. 1-0.
And can you say that the system works? I think the system works, Carl. You know Coach Marcina is pumped about that.
Lucas Silva plays the spacing, gets it past Faroux, and SAFC scores in the 14th minute.
It's one way to kick off this home opener. We'll have to look back at it here. Driven ball perfectly into Jorge, that playmaker. He continues the run, and then he finishes in the opposite 90, just out of the hands of Ferro. And wonderful work there from this brand new San Antonio side, still bringing their winning ways.
Well, Jorge Hernandez led USL Championship in assists last season. I think he's off to a good start by assisting on the first SAFC goal of the year.
Right. I mean, you would think you'd want someone who's such a play creator in the center of the field, but they have a lot of manpower out there right now at the moment. So what happens when you put them up top? That is exactly what happens when you put them up top.
Peru with a long send to the back line of SAFC. Tainter heads it the other direction. And Tainter clears it away from Zach Ryan.
It's a nice chip.
Mohamed Abu cuts back and lost the defender while he was at it, but then he has this pass intended for Carter Manley, intercepted, pushing it the other way. El Medkar in the penalty area. Deflected by Manley and then sent away from the goal from Mitch Tainter.
World-class one-on-one stand-up defending. Carter Manley has been known for that from day one, and that's exactly why he is still on this roster.
And actually, if you're keeping stats at home, credit Kendall Burks with the clearance there. The throw in here for Loudoun United.
Loudoun with some movement here, trying to control the pace of the game.
On the switch of the pitch, Faroux sends it to Mitch Tainter, who heads it into touch.
Of course, you're always going to have that man marking when you're ball side. Leave that weak side open, something San Antonio continues to do well. Something we've
spoken to here, because that was the second goal play, as it started off with a foul that kind of injured Tingy at the beginning. And here's another look at that clip there, as it was actually Keegan Hughes, the other Keegan, who committed the foul.
Right, tough when two Keegans are playing right next to each other, but either way, a foul committed nonetheless. You'd mentioned that pass in from Kendall Burks. He's one of those guys that Coach Marcina has mentioned is just next level and really belongs in the MLS as well. He thinks he could possibly be the best center back in the league.
Cisniega has nothing else to do but send it into touch for a throw in here to Tingy.
Burks went to University of Washington, comes to San Antonio FC from Chicago Fire.
So he has some MLS side experience. The throw in, bouncing around, will be picked up here by Skundrich. Skundrich sends it on across, and Cisniega with the catch.
It's a quality read from Cisniega and a good backup there from Manley.
Cisniega with a long throw over here to Silva. Tainter slows it down, looks for the passing lanes. It's back to Burks. Carter Manley waiting for the pressure to come.
Calm, composed.
Pass intended for Abu will be taken away here by Skundrich. And the shot there by Zach Ryan ties us up at 1.
It feels like deja vu.
Deja vu all over again. This time, just that pacing almost hurts SAFC, using all that time around the back line. Eventually, just one little push there by Loudoun United, and the equalizer in the 17th minute.
We'll have a look back at it here. As you mentioned, Carl, it's that slow passing. They need a little more pace if they're going to play that game. You can still draw people in by maintaining that pace, but it was that turnover there in a really tough spot, and you can't let that happen with Ryan in the mix, because he'll do it just like he did in that last matchup. And here we are, tiebreaker, even Stevens at 8 minutes and some change. 18 minutes and some change.
Well, if you like goals, certainly a good place to start. Goal piece before we hit the 20th minute.
This could be the game.
Agudelo will restart SAFC. Mitch Tainter. Burks and Manley trying to bait. Tanner jogs up a little. Manley in the middle of the field. Switch to the pitch side. Shannon Gomez. Lambert, one touch and a little too strong there, intended for Hawkinson.
Carl, we talk a lot about expectations, and again, this is one of those moments where you just have to manage those expectations. Accidents are going to happen, and it's better to learn from those mishaps early on here in season before you get into that playoff area.
Manley able to come down with the aerial. Abu. Silva finds some space. Resets the spacing to Tainter, who can play up to midline. Agudelo works to the end line. Silva with a 1v1 and help coming. And the cross is deflected. We will not have a corner kick as Farouk comes over and makes sure that one is saved before it'll be a dangerous situation for him to deal with.
Good hustle there from him and solid read.
Hugo Farouk will reset the spacing here and just keep it short on a roll.
On that last advance, they did have Shannon Gomez wide open backside. Instead, they took that more direct approach.
Hernandez turns the corner in the penalty area. Tries a cross. It's headed away. Shannon Gomez has the opportunity to come to his feet.
Unfortunate turnover. I would have liked to see that hit on the first touch. Also hard to control, though, when it is a deflection.
Agudelo trying to play it forward, but it was knocked away from him by Awua. Lambert sends it over the left side here. Silva. Tainter to Abu. Well, I get the feeling SAFC is going to win possession the first half the way it's been going so far, about halfway through it.
Right. They've done well to stay calm and composed despite the circumstances, but it's here in these moments where Loudoun's reading them pretty loud and clearly here that they need to continue that pace along the back line. It's where it's easy to get complacent and make silly turnovers.
Abu fakes out a defender and looks for a pass wide out to Manley.
You can see they are still trying to get in behind quite a bit, baiting them in, baiting that back line up high. Pretty congested there. All players pretty close to that center circle.
Hernandez with a one touch to Lambert, who sends it to the left side. Silva, some space here for Silva to work into the penalty area.
It was a good idea. Hit Agudelo backside there.
And a nice defensive effort put in by Erlinson to send it to the defensive half of the pitch for SAFC, where Mitch Tainter ever so casually walks forward, and looked like we had some extracurricular happening at the center circle, and a caution has been issued here to Erlinson. So Jacob Erlinson, who just made a good play, will be shown the first yellow card of the match.
Pretty feisty there. Bit of a change there from San Antonio FC. Usually they're the first to throw bows and get the yellow, so maybe there's some evolvement or development there. But again, I think Marcina loves that physical nature. There are so many battles happening out on this field. It's not only tactical or strategic, it's also mental.
So free kick, just offset from center circle. Jorge Hernandez will let his team set up for this. Hernandez with the send into the penalty area. Farouk had it knocked away from him as he punched it away from Kendall Burks, and then it's sent into touch. SAFC's throw.
Burks, again, that physical guy Coach Marcina had mentioned. He's one of those guys. He's calm, composed, really high IQ, but he also brings that physical side of the game. We'll have a look back at it here. Great distribution in. Anybody's ball here. Kendall Burks goes for it. And in that call, the keeper's always going to get it.
Yeah, Hugo Faru really physical there, keeping it away from Kendall Burks. And then sending to the stands. Lucky fan's going to go home with a souvenir ball on the other side of the stadium. Quick restart here. SAFC goes back in their defense half of the pitch. Into the penalty area. Comes down to Silva. Across, and nobody there to receive. It bounces out to Tainter. Silva. Jorge Hernandez couldn't keep his footing.
All fair play.
Francois was able to keep his footing, though, and he'll sprint into the field. Attacking third.
Francois playing with the ball. So good at that. Mitch will not be fooled again.
And Mitch Tainter, lucky he didn't receive a yellow, as now he gets a headbutt from Farah and Francois, and Francois will send Mitch Tainter to the grass, and we're probably going to have a red card.
And of course, as it should be, that is absolutely unnecessary. So early in season.
Cristiano Francois with the headbutt, and very intense play between these two. As you mentioned, Francois got him earlier on a cutback, and then he wouldn't be fooled the second time. They go at each other, and
it almost looks as though he didn't mean to fully headbutt him. It almost looked like they were going to go chest to chest, and it looks like his head went into Mitch. But I mean, this one is 100% the referee's call. I would hate to be in his position. It's arguable either way. From the start, it shouldn't have happened. The confrontation should not have happened. That's where you need to cool your jets, walk away. That's where your teammates come in and separate you from each other. We'll have another look. Let's look back at it again. Crap talking begins. Oh, leading with the head. Maybe I misread that. What do you think, Carl?
I think that a few seconds earlier, Mitch Tainter sort of baited him into it.
He did, but does that condone a headbutt?
And our official is not going to award the red card that SAFC is searching for, as Cristiano Francois, I don't believe, has received the discipline yet. And I think we're going to have a conversation here with the assistant, who might have seen more of it.
The whole team going in on this ref, and of course it's Mitch Tainter, the captain, and Shannon Gomez, a returner. One's holding them back. They've probably had their fair share of scuffles last season. They have learned their lesson, but let's see what happens here.
Tainter pleading his case, obviously, but is it going to be one of those cases of no blood, no card? Because I think that's almost what we're kind of able to pick up from up here in the booth.
I think both could be guilty in this situation. I mean, they both engaged. They both let it get there. But at the end of the day, there was a headbutt. And I believe that if the ref lets this go without a card of some sort, it's only going to escalate. It's part of the referee's job, is to kind of keep things under wraps and calm.
I haven't seen a card come out, as this has been quite the deliberation.
Yeah. He did have a yellow there on Keegan in the back.
A little bit earlier.
Excuse me, Jacob Erlandson, not Keegan.
That's right. Yeah, there's two Keegans on the back line. You had a good guess there.
Yeah, 50% chance, and I got it. No,
and here's the second yellow card. It will be issued here, and it's a red. So it'll be a man down for Loudoun United the rest of the match. Although I don't know if they pointed out Cristiano Francois as the person who's leading. They will. I believe that it will be him, as the card was shown to another Loudoun United player, and they're going to have a quick huddle talk about how they'll play with only 10 on the pitch.
Right. You don't want to be in this situation. 28 minutes, 50-something seconds to go here. that have passed so far. This early in the first half.
Cristiano Francois is the man who was issued a red card, and he'll exit the match.
That is a huge loss for them. He was so productive up there on the corner, whether he was able to get a breakaway at goal or not. His services in were quality. He could pull the entire team over. It left that weak side open, even in the attacking third. So he did so much here in such a short period of time that this is going to hurt him.
And there will be a quick substitution as Keegan Tingey is exiting the match, and Robert Dambrot will be coming in for him. And a man down the rest of the way here for Loudoun United. Mohamed Abu playing the aggressor. Shannon Gomez will send it back. Carter Manley. Lambert. Tainter, and now Burks. So when you're playing a man down, does that really actually help your possession-based style a lot more? As you see a quick send here to Silva, but Faru will intercept that.
Definitely don't want to be a man down no matter what. If I'm in this situation, I'd want to be spreading the field, because that means there's going to be a big, giant open pocket somewhere at some point as you progress forward. But as you can see, anytime SAFC's building out of the back, they're pretty compact there in the middle, trying to open up the flanks. They might change that here.
Manley heads it in the direction for SAFC, but it'll be scooped up by Awua, and then a little too strong on the touch intended for Zach Ryan, and ends up being a goal kick, and is quickly restarted there by Cisniega. Carter Manley.
Combination of Kendall Burks and Kevin Lambert there in the center of the field is really a great move there from Marcina. Both composed players, both really good with their feet. Just been a few turnovers at the wrong spot of the field, not of their fault.
Ball side reversal led to a pass to the middle, and then a whistle goes against Juan Agudelo as he shoved down a defender, and a free kick here for Loudoun United.
It was a bit of push and shove, and again, after that first altercation, you don't want to let things get out of hand. We'll look back at it just to be sure. Yeah, there was a hit off the ball before it even got there, so great call there from the ref.
Jacob Erlinson doing a good job selling the contact and hitting the pitch, as that could have been dangerous if Agudelo had been able to get a foot on it.
That's true.
Loudoun United looking to score shorthanded, and slipping up there. Ball won't be gotten to Skundrich.
Got Shannon Gomez big on the backside all day long. If someone can switch it quickly enough, a quick ball to Manley and then to Shannon could work there.
Zach Ryan intercepts the pass and deflects it away. And then Velo had the pass intercepted by SAFC. Manley. Plenty of space ahead of him as he sprints it across midfield.
Hawkinson putting in some work there too, creating a play to build out of the back and then working his way back up top. He did have a goal in the exhibition match that was open to the public.
Hernandez thought that was going to maybe be a cut back there from Shannon Gomez. Instead, he sends it in the touch, and then it's headed right back into SAFC's hands on the throw in by Loudoun United. We're in the 34th minute.
They continue to cook it and cook it, bake it, as they say, waiting for a nice clear opening. That's a good drive in.
And a fight for it across the end line, and will be a goal kick. That was a good run there by Shannon Gomez, but he was boxed out there by Erlinson.
I can see the wheels turning there, wanting to get the ball closer to goal, but you could have put him in the corner and he might have had a good cross in too. A little bit more space, more ability to do something with the ball there.
Hugo Farou will send this one away on the goal kick deep. A goal in the 14th minute. Silva from Hernandez for SAFC. And a goal in the 17th minute as Elmid Carr got it to Zach Ryan to equalize this game at 1. Since then, a red card given to Cristiano Francois. So down a man are Loudoun United. SAFC trying to take advantage. Agudelo tried a back heel there, but it was sent into touch, and Shannon Gomez will throw in, as that was intended for him to try and leak out down the sideline.
You know, had this been the old SAFC team and you're down a man, it would have been next to impossible to try to break through that back line because they had such a high press mentality, constantly forcing the ball left and right. We're still seeing that defending high up the field, but for the most part, coming out of the back, they're just not coming out with a ton of speed, so there's still a chance here for Loudoun.
Trying to get past two defenders there. Kwame Awua was unable to split the defense, but he does win the throw in here on the attacking half of the pitch for Loudoun United. Rolls it down the touchline, and Mitchell Tainter keeps it from going across the end line to Burks there, as he was in a match there with Velo.
Some good tiki-taka building out of pressure. Kevin Lambert to Silva.
Silva got it past, and then it was picked up. Tainter trying to turn it upfield.
And this is where they make them run.
Hawkinson cuts back. Out wide here to Hernandez. Jorge Hernandez with the cross, and just glances off of the head of the man. We're trying to make a run there. Agudelo.
Agudelo, what a beautiful ball in there from Jorge Hernandez. Such a quality guy, and then Agudelo there on the end of it, read it well. Some good chemistry happening early on, just can't quite get on the end of it. Better defended there from Jacob Erlandson.
Well, playing a man down, I imagine Farou is going to be sending it deep on any goal kick that he gets an opportunity on. Just trying to create as much space away from him, most importantly, probably.
Yeah, get away from my house.
All the way across midfield, where Lambert heads it high. A couple aerial duels. Eventually it comes down to the feet of Skundrich, and possession won't be maintained long by Loudoun United.
Again, there's moments where they ping the ball around really well, and so you can see where they turn the tempo up quite a bit.
Gomez with the send there intended for Hawkinson, and instead it'll be intercepted with Loudoun trying to counter, but Manley stops that. And we have a free kick here as a foul was committed there, I believe, by Carter Manley, and Loudoun United will have a break from the onslaught of attacking the ball there from SAFC to try and get it into the attacking third. Shannon Gomez. Zach Ryan able to intercept and push the other direction. And then it goes into touch. Last touch by SAFC. Coming up to throw. Awua. Kwame Awua. Had his throw easily picked off there by Burks.
Looks like we have Robbie Dambrot on the pitch as well. He's played with Loudoun since 2019. You can see him sitting there perched in the back, and that's exactly the kind of guy that you want in this situation. With a brand new squad, you want some veteran leadership out there just commanding the field.
Manley plays it down the touchline, but it'll be taken by Awua and sent back to Farou. Lambert won the aerial duel by shoving down the man in front of him there, as it'll be foul drawn there, Florian Velo.
Good call. Wasn't intentional.
Not many fouls are intentional, in fairness.
Debatable.
No. They're intentional
Speaking
fouls.
for myself. Well, yeah, I know what you mean. You're in the heat of the moment.
And just because a foul was unintentional doesn't mean it wasn't a foul. Dambra trying to make something happen here. Zach Ryan couldn't catch up to the ball sent to him near the corner. Silva with the throw, as he's told to take a few strides further down before he can throw it in. Lambert gets it right back. Silva. Tainter chips it ahead. Agudelo.
Some quality chips in as much as you can with the situation and congestion.
Awua's defense creates an opportunity in the penalty area. Skundrich a little too far ahead, looking for Zach Ryan as it rolls across the end line. It'll be our first corner kick of the evening. Coming all the way in the 41st minute. And, well, when you're shorthanded, this is about as good of an opportunity as you can ask for.
Right. This may be the best chance that they're going to get here in the final part of this first half.
Kwame Awua will put it on the penalty arc where he likes it.
Roughing the keeper. Bit of feistiness, as you'd expect.
Erlinson's right there in front of Cisniega. Awua's corner. Loudoun United looking for the lead. It'll be headed down and then sent out by Hernandez. There to receive is Dambra. And he wasn't able to recycle the service. And last touch by Loudoun United on the quick restart here. Jorge Hernandez will find Hawkinson, who is tripped up in the attacking third. No whistle. And Dambra will send it to his keeper, Hugo Faru. Faru across midfield. Lambert will touch it back to Manley to slow down the tempo. Silva. Tainter chips it here to Silva on the left side. And we have a whistle as a man was past the last defender for SAFC. Offside will give the ball here to Loudoun United.
Gotta pay attention. But great work from that back line. The quick step.
We should probably expect a fair amount of stoppage time with that early injury and all the debate from the red card. So still plenty of time left here as we come to the 45 minutes played mark. Faru with a long send. Played well there by Zach Ryan, and nobody there to pick up his aerial duel victory. And Mohamed Abu will send it across field here. Shannon Gomez had it knocked away by Awua, and Awua will turn it upfield here for El Medcar to play.
Incredible defense from Awua.
Ryan, pass intended here for El Medcar, and El Medcar will take it to the penalty arc, tries a strike and skies it over the crossbar.
The fact that he has had another go at this is something else. We'll have a look back at it, especially being down a man, doing such a great job getting in here. Cisniega doesn't have to do much.
El Medcar got the assist on the Loudoun United goal that happened in the 17th minute. That time he tried to score one himself, calling his own number. You got to take every opportunity given with a man down.
Right, I think that may have occurred as they were trying to force it forward a bit. There's a lot of congestion. As you can see, there's a little more space now between the back line and the center midfielders, just trying to create space for themselves to create those holes and seams to get in behind. It's hard when you have a whole new system, even with the same coach, but imagine with a whole new coach and a whole new set of players. Sometimes old habits shine through. So it's just sticking to that game plan, winning those individual battles.
How difficult is it to kind of flip the switch and say we're going to play a more direct style now, as you maybe stop slowing it down as Hernandez tries to threat? Hawkinson with some space. Gomez with the cross intended for Agudelo. It was sent away and will go to touch. And it was last touched by SAFC according to our assistant. So a throw in. Disagreeing are the SAFC faithful, and Loudoun United will avoid the threat.
Also the 12th man out here at Toyota Field, raising lots of commotion for their San Antonio side. Understandable. Let's look at it. Looked like it may have come off of Agudelo. Hard to say. It's out of the frame there.
6 minutes of stoppage time.
And we'll have 6 minutes of stoppage time here in the first half. Knotted up at 1.
It's a good call there, Carl. I've learned my lesson. I no longer guess stoppage time.
I didn't guess. I just figured it would be a little bit longer.
6 minutes is a pretty good amount of time, I would say. If it were 2, I'd question it, but good call.
I think you and I saw a match where it was 11 minutes last year. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that'll happen sometimes.
Like a whole quarter.
Silva with some space. Silva gets it right back from Jorge Hernandez. Looking for the cross, and well defended there as it was sent into touch by Florian Velo. Quick restart. Abu. Back on Burks, touches it to Carter Manley. Mohamed Abu looking for Silva, who was headed away on the pass, and then Silva comes flying in like a wrecking ball, and that'll be a foul against him.
Robbie Dambro with the diving defensive header. Good stuff.
And smelling halftime being nearby, it's Hugo Faru taking his time here on this ensuing free kick. Faru with the boot all the way into the attacking third, and then it'll be a goal kick for his opposing keeper, Pablo Cisniega, who, we talked about. Cisniega hasn't been called in action too much this evening, but obviously SAFC is excited to have somebody with his experience, as Mohamed Abu will send it to Shannon Gomez, who with a one-touch pass deflected and almost an own goal there, as, oh man, the touch by Jacob Erlinson. He's lucky that his goalkeeper, Hugo Faru, was there to save the day.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look back at this because it goes in from Shannon. It's a miss hit off the boot. Paws it away. Lucky he wasn't called for something else, but because it wasn't an intentional pass back, it was not considered a handball by the keep. So we play on at the corner.
Jorge Hernandez with the corner kick. First one for SAFC this evening. He skies it towards the back post, and Mitch Tainer heads at the other side for Carter Manley to receive. Recycling the service, Gomez sends a line drive towards the 6, and no whistles. There was a lot of contact in the penalty area. Mohamed Abu trying to recycle the service, and nobody there to receive his pass. It'll be bounced out here for Burks to collect.
Cisniega, who you had mentioned earlier, comes to San Antonio FC from Charlotte FC, also spent some time at LAFC, played in Spain as well, as from Mexico City, Mexico.
And Tainter wasn't on the same page there with Silva. Cisniega has 2 parents that were Olympians for Mexico, and I saw a bit on him, and his father was a swimmer, and he knew from the age of 3 that Cisniega was going to be a soccer player when a 3-year-old sat down and watched an entire Mexican World Cup match. And whistle here will pause play as a foul goes against SAFC, drawing the contact, Zach Ryan. And we're approaching the end of the first half here as stoppage time is going a little bit past schedule.
If they're able to get this set piece, which it looks like they are, this could be really dangerous.
I'm sure SAFC will play to send it away, and then we'll probably head into the locker rooms.
Right, but if you can just get one good header, it's a nice bent run.
Dambrot sends it into the penalty area. Mohamed Abu clears it out. Finally, a whistle. We weren't sure who was going to go against it. It goes against SAFC as Luke Hawkinson is going to be whistled for the foul, and another set piece here for the man short, Loudoun United. Maybe
the ref is just trying to keep things interesting here. Quite a bunch of back and forth, pulling on jerseys from both sides, and it's Loudoun that falls first. I don't know. Well, we have about 1 minute left here in stoppage time, and SAFC has had to play some defense here. It's all you can do when you're down a man. It's a good draw, the foul there from Jacob Erlinson. Chipped over the wall and then headed by Zach Ryan and caught by Cisniega. Really bright spot there from Cisniega. Just saw a flash of really quality talent there from him. You can see what all the hype's about. Very small window for him to make that play. Lambert. And also just to have the sticky gloves aspect of it. You know, you can dive in, you can punch it out, but instead he held on to it. That's really good stuff. Mohamed Abu. Carter Manley. Directional diagonal pass intercepted there by Skundrich, and then a long send. Nobody there to play it. It'll be a goal kick here for SAFC. A quick restart. And that'll be halftime as the halftime whistle ends the 6 minutes of stoppage time. And SAFC struck first, but then it was a 17th minute goal to tie us up at 1. Playing a man down. Loudoun United showing a lot of fight here on opening night. We're tied at 1. We'll have some halftime, and then second half will be a fun one. Don't go anywhere here on Valley Sports Southwest.
Going head-to-head with insurance companies is no easy game. It requires determination, gamesmanship, and grit. That's why you need Davis Law Firm on your side. With over 25 years experience, our team of around 150 in 7 Texas cities has a winning track record of verdicts and settlements, many in the millions of dollars. And just like your favorite team, we play to win. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or commercial vehicle accident, call us at 444-4444. So if you want more, call the fours.
Order Pizza Hut now and get a free large pizza later. That's a free pizza on your next order. So you can pizza now, then pizza again. Free pizza means your next dinner is covered. Your future self will thank you. Get it while it's hot. Only at Pizza Hut.
Celebrate the vibrant history of Hemisphere one more time at home as the San Antonio Spurs take the court in our City Edition uniform. March 31st at 6 p.m. Spurs, Warriors. Tickets at Spurs.com or the Spurs app.
There's not a better fan club you're going to ever find besides outside of San Antonio.
Thank you so much, Austin. We love you.
There's not a better fan club you're going to ever find besides outside of San Antonio.
Thank you so much, Austin. We love you.
A man in San Antonio was having trouble with the Frost Bank app. So Frost Tech Support drove to his house. They took the phone into the lab and wrote a custom software patch? Seriously? This never happened.
It did. And they drove it back to him the same day.
I'm shook.
Excuse me, you're what?
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL.
You can see it in my eyes, only want the best. Maybe drowning every night, won't settle for less. Got me looking to the sky, got me feeling blessed. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Burning up inside of my chest. Got this fire burning up.
have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
You've given us a foundation to be proud of. We build on this now. This is it now, gents. This is us from now on.
Celebrate the vibrant history of Hemisphere one more time at home as the San Antonio Spurs take the court in our City Edition uniform. March 31st at 6 p.m. Spurs, Warriors. Tickets at Spurs.com or the Spurs app.
Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart.
Wherever or whenever you're in need, the right heart specialist is within reach with our extensive cardiovascular network. Learn more now about our comprehensive heart care.
Sorry.
No, please, you take it.
No, really, I should.
Take your hand and be. I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got no.
Sarah needed a financial institution that believes in the people they serve. She wanted to be part of a community of savers and borrowers built from a concern for one another, not shareholders. A credit union that offers sensible tools that put people in control of their financial health. So Sarah joined Credit Human, a financial partner for all of her ups and downs, wins and losses, work days, weekends, and game nights. Go, Sarah, go. Credit Human, a federal credit union.
We welcome you back to Toyota Field. It's opening night as we are at halftime between Loudoun United FC and San Antonio FC. All knotted up at 1. I'm Carl Schoening along with Katie Goodman. We're happy you guys joined us here on ESPN+. And Katie, we were talking right after we put our headsets down at the end of the halftime whistle. It's been a weird match so far.
It has, and I think it's because we're so not used to seeing San Antonio FC play like this. It's hard to know what to expect, and then you have a red card in the mix, and man, everything that you would ever want to happen in a season opener is happening right here at San Antonio FC. It's all the drama.
Maybe if you're not Loudoun United, you don't want a red card, obviously, but it has been very high drama here as we started off with a couple quick goals in the 14th minute, and then the 17th minute, a quick equalizer as we get to look at it here. SAFC struck first with Jorge Hernandez able to deliver a strike there as the goal was scored there by Lucas Silva. And, you know, just a good way for SAFC to open up the night, but only moments later, Elmed Carr was able to find Zach Ryan, and he finds the back of the net for the equalizer. And then here's the red card as it was a head putt there from Cristiano Francois on Mitch Tainter. And, you know, that led to a man down for a good majority of the first half that SAFC, quite frankly, wasn't able to take advantage of as we're all knotted up at 1.
Right, and I'm not surprised by that at all. It's a whole new roster, and I'm sure they've been learning pressing actions and situational awareness for certain things. Yes, red card might be in the mix, but imagine the information that they've had to take in and execute, and then you get into a moment like that. And right now, this halftime, it's going to going to change a lot of things, I think. It's a totally different game. The other team's down a guy, so anything could happen here, but you got to hand it to Loudoun right now. I mean, they have taken advantage of the opportunities that they've had. They've done a great job getting up top, drawing the foul when they need to. They've been really intelligent about how they've handled it. And, the way SAFC is playing, dropping it back, playing really slow out of the bag, there's still lots of opportunity for Loudoun to just pick up another one of those bad passes, which might happen because, again, we're here early on in season.
Well, shorthanded goal would certainly be a way for Loudoun United to maybe come away with a point or three here in San Antonio. Other than the 1-1 draw, here's some first half stats for you. As anything stand out to you, Katie?
Oh, yeah, that 70.9% possession to the 29.1% from Loudoun. I would say par for the course, but it is absolutely not par for the course for San Antonio FC. Normally, last season, with that direct approach, their possession numbers were always much, much lower than the opponent. Of course, this is proof in the pudding right here that they are now a possession team.
Yeah, you see there Loudoun out shooting SAFC, but SAFC and Loudoun United both with a goal apiece. And yeah, I meant to ask you this during the game, but we got interrupted with the actual game. But how easy is it for a team to just flip the switch and go from maybe a possession-based style to a bit more direct, depending on the situation, such as only going up against 10 players?
It's really not. A lot of it depends on coaching and the pressing actions that you're practicing in practice. It's just having that muscle awareness that when you're in a stressful position, what do you default to? And so a lot of times it's easy to just punch it up the field because you're used to a direct approach and you can, pass it off as, hey, we're just playing direct today. But it's different when you have something else intentional really at work here. And so they've got a bit of an uphill battle to work through, but they're doing well. It's not looking bad at all by any means. Of course, it's 1-1 at the half, but I can guarantee you things are going to change in the second half.
What are the keys for SAFC in the second half?
Play a little bit faster out of the back. Yes, you can draw opponents back, but if you get a little bit more pace, pinging it back and forth, it helps you to keep your rhythm. And in some coaches, they want that change of pace. They want you to slow it down, pick up the pace as you move forward. But what's happening is Loudoun is picking up on that slow movement in the back. You don't want to get caught off guard there, right? That's the worst place possible to get caught off guard into turnover.
Well, I appreciate your expert analysis. Well, halftime's coming to a close. When we come back here on ESPN Plus, the start of the second half between Loudoun United and SAFC here on opening night of USL Championship play at Toyota Field.
There's not a better fan club you're going to ever find besides outside of San Antonio.
Thank you so much, Austin. We love you.
Who can tell me what they want to be when they grow up? Rico?
Are you seriously gonna have nachos for all?
Hi, sports fans. I'm Jeff Davis. Going head-to-head with insurance companies is no easy game. It requires determination, gamesmanship, and grit. That's why you need Davis Law Firm on your side. With over 25 years' experience, our team of around 150 in 7 Texas cities has a winning track record of verdicts and settlements, many in the millions of dollars. And just like your favorite team, we play to win. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or commercial vehicle accident, call us at 444-4444. So if you want more, call the fours.
Lionel Richie. And Earth, Wind, and Fire. San Antonio. You're invited to sing a song all night long. For the first time ever, Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Together in one magical night you don't want to miss. Frost Bank Center, June 4th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Celebrate the vibrant history of Hemisphere one more time at home as the San Antonio Spurs take the court in our City Edition uniform. March 31st at 6 p.m. Spurs, Warriors. Tickets at Spurs.com or the Spurs app.
Lionel Richie. And Earth, Wind, and Fire. San Antonio. You're invited to sing a song all night long. For the first time ever, Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Together in one magical night you don't want to miss. Frost Bank Center, June 4th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
3 nuns were driving through Austin and they got a flat tire. They stop in front of a frost bank. Next thing you know, a frost banker walks out and changes their tire? Hold on. This can't be real.
It's a real story.
And the nuns?
Yeah, they weren't even Frost customers.
Dude! You think I can be a nun?
Not a chance, sister.
Who can tell me what they want to be when they grow up? Rico?
Are you seriously gonna have nachos for all?
Halftime coming to a close as SAFC is hosting Loudoun United FC. I'm Carl Schoening along with Katie Goodman. Katie, always a lot of fun calling these USL Championship matches with you as I see SAFC for the 3rd year in a row from the broadcast booth, at least this opportunity. And this is a different SAFC ball club, and it's not just the passing back and forth along the back line. It's the retreating back to the back line that I just wasn't really expecting in this sort of beautiful game style that Alan Marcina has really switched up here on the people who've been following SAFC.
Right. I mean, second season for me, and I can tell you there is a night and day difference here in this moment. Of course, you see some elements from the previous season. It's more so the culture piece that I'm seeing, that physicality that they're bringing to the plate here, which is what you have to do in this league. The USL Championship, that's the first layer. That's that first foundational principle that you have to bring to the field every single game, no matter what team you are, and SAFC just does it so well.
Jorge Hernandez will start off the second half as the kickoff belongs to SAFC. Loudoun United FC playing a man down thanks to a red card from Cristiano Francois in the 29th minute. Neither team has scored a goal since that red card, as the 14th minute SAFC struck first with Hernandez assisting Silva, and then the equalizer just a few minutes later, Helmet Carr to Zach Ryan. And here's a quick send by Manley, intended for Juan Agudelo, one of the new faces for SAFC, but it bounces to Hugo Faru, and he's certainly going to tell his back line to push up almost every time he gets a chance to punt here.
Absolutely tough position to be in, especially it's the San Antonio FC side.
Skundrich is tripped up there by Mohamed Abu, no whistle, and Silva comes up with possession for SAFC. Tried to turn it up back towards the back line, and it was deflected out of play there by Velo.
Right there from Silva dos Santos again.
Mohamed Abu back here to Mitch Tainer. Tainer's diagonal pass is bumped around, and then a foul will be called as trying to push it the other way. Being fouled up there was Jacob Erlinson, as another one of those new faces, Hawkinson, commits the personal foul.
Hard to say on that one. Kind of looked like everyone going for ball in that situation, but that can be the name of the game here for Loudoun. Doing what you can to get that ball in possession. Every possession will count.
Hugo Faru with the deep send, putting pressure on the back line of SAFC. Into the penalty area. It was taken away from the feet of Velo.
That was exactly what I was talking about, and that halftime speech we gave there, Carl, is that would be a pretty solid key, is try to enforce a turnover. They were almost successful.
Lambert, plenty of space to dribble. Directs some traffic. Leaves it here for Tainter. Silva with that his team down the touchline. Silva into the penalty area. And it's deflected out, and nice defensive effort there by Hughes. The turn and the shot, the goal for SAFC off the foot of Juan Agudelo. His first goal as a member of San Antonio Football Club.
Agudelo, I'd expect nothing less. He has one heck of a track record. Makes his way to San Antonio FC from Birmingham. And my goodness, what a way to walk into this club. Quite a few guys on this season debut with a big goal. We're going to have to watch back at this replay. Of course, Jorge Hernandez is involved. That's exactly why he's that golden playmaker guy, and Agudelo there to finish the job. Great goal awareness. Didn't even have to look at the goal. He took that ball, one touch, set himself up for success, and then that quality strike through the laces is what sealed the deal.
So Hernandez gets his second assist of the night, and Agudelo gets the first goal of his season here for SAFC on opening night. And Loudoun United faces being down a goal once more, except this time they're shorthanded.
Good for San Antonio FC to get a second goal early here. You don't want to get caught looking and beginning to doubt yourself and this new system. Both goals coming pretty early here in each half is a good sign, but it's keeping that focus sharp throughout the full 90. And if you can put maybe another one or two away, try to take some of the hope there out of this Loudoun system.
Gomez heads it towards midfield. Ahmed Carr has his pass intercepted here by Hernandez. The through ball here. Agudelo with the sliding tackle. Will go towards the end line and be picked up by Faru, and the good defense from Erlinson there to break up the play by SAFC.
Good hustle from Jorge Hernandez again. Lots of slipping and sliding going on out here. A bit of a humid day in San Antonio. Might have something to do with it. Great work from Shannon Gomez getting wide, spreading the field.
And SAFC might not have to worry about a Loudoun United player crossing midfield when they're dealing with it on the back line, as they seem to concede any passes back there for SAFC.
If you can make your way through the middle of the field, sideline to sideline quickly, what it can do is open up some pockets there through the middle. That's exactly what they're trying to do. Loudoun picking up on it and closing down.
Cisniega will have to send it the other direction as it was retreated back to him off of the quick pressure by Loudoun United. And now Loudoun United trying to maintain possession as Faru sends it high into the sky. Lambert heads it and then kick to the back line there for Burks. Tainter one touch here as Silva sends it to Lambert. Bounces around. Hawkinson. And it's picked up here by Loudoun United on the stop of the play there by Erlinson.
A good win there from Abu.
Now, when they pick a side, they tend to stay to that left side and very selectively reverse ball side. So SAFC's really spent a lot of time just on whichever side of the pitch, really trying to draw in all the defenders to that one side. And we see in this case Shannon Gomez is here on the near side of your screen waiting for a long send like this one right here. Gomez in the penalty area was not able to catch up to it before Faru comes down with the catch.
Right, we saw that quite a bit last half where Shannon or Silva were kind of stuck out there, cleats to chalk, waiting to receive it. The trick is getting that ball to them fast enough. A lot of times when it's up in the air, a big send over, it's easy to read and shift. So sometimes you want a driven ball with laces if there's a passing lane. Or pretend you're going to go there and drive it into the striker's feet.
Mohamed Abu. Hernandez right back to Abu. Back to Mitch Tainer. Pass is intercepted, and then a whistle as Dambrot was fouled on the counter. And Silva's whistled there for the foul. A free kick coming up for Loudoun United.
Nobody arguing against that one. Again, San Antonio FC still not safe. Yeah, it's a 2-1 result, but anything can happen. Especially there's been a couple of missed touches, turnovers from San Antonio FC. Still working to clean things up, which is all understandable. So many new faces.
Dambrot dribbled into some traffic, and now SAFC will come up with the send towards the back line. Erlinson sends it back to Ferreau, and he'll make the catch off of a bounce there with Agudelo pressuring.
Ferreau trying to figure out the next move. It's a good drive in.
Awua had the touch, but Manley intercepts.
Yeah, that was a good idea there. Maybe if they had had another man on deck, it might have been successful.
Gomez lets it fly back to Burks, and Mohamed Abu with center circle, plenty of space. Lambert looks forward and instead sends it wide out here to Manley. Manley with the through ball into the penalty area, knocked out by Dambrot into touch.
Great vision of the field there from Manley. I mean, we're sitting up here in the press box. We have a bird's eye view. It's hard to see that pass sometimes, and it's a great idea. Just didn't quite get there.
Kevin Lambert runs in the defense and will let Abu chip it into the penalty area. Agudelo looking to get a second. Instead, he just sends it past the back post. Silva is there to play it at the corner, and I believe it'll be last touch there by Silva. No, it'll be a throw in here for SAFC, just shy of that penalty corner.
It's so easy to
Corner
see why Juan Agudelo is praised as highly as he is. I mean, comes over from Birmingham Legion, spent time with Chivas, New England Revolution, Inter Miami, Minnesota United, New York Red Bulls, 28 caps with the U.S. men's national team. And now we've got him here at SAFC. Marcina screaming his praises from the rooftops, and such a productive player so far, even off the ball.
Agudelo with the touch there. Hawkinson tried to send it forward to Jorge Hernandez, but it was taken away from his feet there on the defense by Keegan Hughes. Shannon Gomez with the throw in. Carter Manley. Burks wants Lambert to come up.
When you've got him a man down, you definitely want to make him run just like that. That's why you see a lot of that side-to-side movement. Try to find passing lanes. Try to make them work for that ball exactly as they're doing that there. Ball's working for them.
High pressure leads to a chase for the ball in the corner, and neither player is going to catch up to it, as the closest one was Kwame Awua, and it'll be a goal kick.
A little bit too much effort on that one. Excuse me, too much pressure on that one, but you can admire the effort.
I thought that was the best chance for offense there for Loudoun United that we've seen here in the second half, and they didn't get a foot on it.
Right. And those opportunities are going to be few and far between. This is where you need to start looking and just making sure they're not trying to draw the foul. I wouldn't say that's what that was there, but as guys start to get tired, they get a little weaker on the ball. You might see some calls go in their favor.
Well, what a hero Drew Skundrich would have been if he had gotten that whistle. Instead, we play on.
Right.
Because that would have been the set piece in a dangerous area. And those set pieces are going to be very valuable anywhere near the attacking third for Loudoun United the rest of the night.
Defensively, Loudoun, of course, wants to stay compact, which is exactly what they're doing. But with this new game model that SAFC's been using, it's working like a charm for them.
Hawkinson couldn't control the touch on a nice feed there from Shannon Gomez, and Hugo Ferreau will breathe a sigh of relief as he could see a lot of the play developing there for SAFC on the attack. Punts it away.
There's that change of pace we were talking about. Just couldn't quite control the pace there up top.
Dambrot tried to send it to the penalty area. There's a fight for it. The turn and the shot is wide. Well, Zach Ryan had a chance there to get his second goal of the match, and that might be the best look that Loudoun United has had all night since his first goal.
Someone give Zach Ryan a pat on the back, because, I mean, he has just been doing some serious work. Look at that fake. Gives himself space and just shy of that upper 90. There's no reason, with them being down a man, that he should have that kind of look at goal again, but he's found ways to get himself into scoring position.
Lambert. There's Gomez. Carter Manley to send. Shannon Gomez trying to track it down. He's pushed off his line. No whistle there as Erlinson allows it to go across the end line. Leads to a goal kick. Physical play there, but Erlinson comes up with a winning one. And we have a substitution here. Might have a couple. As first, it's going to be Awua coming in, as Giannis Learman will enter the match for Awua, I should say. And then on the other side there, exiting is Elmid Carr, and coming in is Wesley Leggett. So Leggett and Learman, the two new members of Loudoun United on the pitch.
Interesting to see how this changes things up. At this point, you really just need fresh legs.
They've been very aggressive with their pressure ever since I sort of mentioned how they were content allowing SAFC to pass around on their defensive side of the pitch. Faroux glancing off the head of Leggett, who gets right into the action. Cisniega boots it towards midfield and looking for a clear possession. SAFC will have it to Mohamed Abu. Agudelo try to get it to Silva, and then it'll be sending a touch on a slide there by Giannis Learman.
You have Lehman and Dambrot, who have switched sides in that outside back position. Typically interchangeable positions at this level. Someone to try to shut down Jorge Hernandez. Would hate to be tasked with that, but he's got that height and stature, which does help him to be a little more dominant out of the air. Might shut down some of those aerial balls on the left side.
Mohamed Abu finds Carter Manley. Shannon Gomez over here on the right side. Tried to send a cross in, and there defensively Dambrot sends it in touch. And another substitution window opens up. This time another new face for SAFC. Mohamed Omar comes onto the pitch as he will tag out Mohamed Abu.
Another great player there. Also had a goal against in their last matchup, Antigua FC. Let's see what he can do here.
Carter Manley pressures the back line as coming right in. Omar heads it into some space where Shannon Gomez couldn't control the touch.
Shannon Gomez, a tireless worker, will forever and always be pressing that ball. The entire team can give up, and he won't. Not that I've seen much of that, but just has a tank that never loses gas.
Here's Gomez defending the ball. Keeps it away from Dambrot, who doesn't quit either, and it'll bounce outside here to Burks. Mitch Tanner wearing the captain's sleeve, unanimously voted by his teammates to lead this team. He's certainly gotten a lot more touches than he's used to, as usually he's sending it down the pitch instead of holding it looking for a pass. This new style change up by SAFC, and a throw in awarded to Loudoun United.
Right, and even though it was a really direct style of play, it was still quite a bit of pressure there for the center back and the outside backs, which all kind of operate almost like a cluster of center backs. It's a really a high IQ position. You can't just boot it forward, even in a direct style of play. It needs to be intentional. I would say I saw a lot of that last season. Not all the time, but a lot of it. But now, again, we're here evolving, as Coach Marcina might say. Nice, good first look at this different style of play. one that can still continue to evolve as guys make their way here to San Antonio.
Shannon Gomez chases down this loose ball that gets past the back line. He'll wait for a few of his teammates. Hawkinson. Here's Lambert. Across the pitch here to Jorge Hernandez. And intercepted there by Below, but a weak pass will be picked up here by Omar. Hernandez had his pass intercepted. And then it goes into touch as Learman really put some pressure on SAFC to do something defensively. And Mitch Tainter never scared to let some fans have some fun sending it into the stands.
Right, Learman, good work out there. Letget as well, doing well to defend offensively, something I talk about a lot, especially if you have that high press mentality. Harder to do when you're down a man and you're sitting back, but still he has managed to force their SAFC defenders left and right, which is really something good.
Silva protects the ball, and then it was last touched by Silva for the throw into Loudoun United. He disagrees, throws the ball down in disapproval. Skundrich gets it right back off the throw. Omar heads in the direction of Jorge Hernandez, comes out of the ball.
I think the best part about Jorge Hernandez is he doesn't only play that forward role well, but he comes out and helps the center midfielders. Makes all the difference.
Hawkinson with the one touch here to Silva, who tries it across the 6. Nobody there to receive for SAFC. It'll go to the opposite side. Silva recycles the service right to the feet of Below, who will clear it.
Really good look there from Shannon. Perfect ball placement, just wasn't anyone there to receive it. And again, those kind of things come with time. The more time you have playing together, you'll be able to read those situations much easier.
Great passing here as it leads to another chance for Jorge Hernandez to do something with it. The through ball and held up, but no whistle. Agudelo looking for it and none coming as it'll eventually roll across the end line. Goal kick for Loudoun United, and jeers come down from the fans in the stands here at Toyota Field.
Really pretty soccer there coming down that left flank. Even better run there from Agudelo, but just so well defended from Erlandson.
Well, Erlandson's telling SAFC to cry about it, as you know, it's a physical fight, and I see why there was no whistle called on the replay.
Right, there was a bit of a tug, but nothing to warrant falling in the box. Still might have been pretty close either way, whether he had fallen or not.
Omar pushes down the defender who tackles here, as the strong play there by Leggett will award a free kick to Loudoun United. And you know, at the opening kickoff, I should say, I noted that Loudoun United had a windmill pattern on their jerseys. Is that where we're going with? I really like it. It's unique.
I think it's great. Don't see a ton of that too often. All about those unique jerseys. And every year you get a new one, so that fresh kit makes all the difference.
Dambrot tried to send towards midfield, and it'll be bounced back out here to Erlandson. Erlandson tracks it over to Faroux. And a dangerous play here as Jorge Hernandez pressures. Omar collects near center circle. Tainter going back to the roots of the direct style. Will get a through ball here as Silva collects. And back to the possession-based style. Omar will slow things down.
Fixes a shin guard that slow.
Yeah.
Might as well tie your boots.
Jorge Hernandez. I don't think he did that intentionally to throw anybody off, but he had time and said, okay, might as well.
Yeah.
Shannon Gomez. Omar. One touch there by Jorge Hernandez to Mitchell Tainter. Hawkinson with some space. Leaves out here Shannon Gomez looking for the cross. And it's sent back into touch as Dambrot came in right after they gave the red card to Cristiano Francois for Keegan Tingy. And he's done a really good job, as you can see why that substitution was made by head coach Ryan Martin for Loudoun United.
You can also see why he's stuck around since 2019. I mean, sometimes there's those players who you just cannot replace because they bring a lot more to the field there. Coach Martin had mentioned that he wanted guys with a ton of USL experience. He's definitely done that with a lot of these new faces he's brought in, and USL experience just to surround some of the guys that he already had, just like Dambrot.
69th minute about to come to a close here as Shannon Gomez has solid possession, and back to Carter Manley. SAFC 70.9% possession in the first half. I imagine they'll be increasing upon that number here by the time we hit full time. Lambert, middle of the field. Shannon Gomez with some space to operate. Gomez sends it towards the top of the 6, and an easy enough catch there by Farouk.
That's a perfect example of trying to change pace. It's so slow out of the back, and it was a 1-2 touch through the middle. That's where the pace was picking up. That's where you want to have a 1-touch service, or at most 2-touch before the service, and get that in quick. The defense had too much time to set up.
Leggett turning into the penalty area, and it'll go across the inline, and it'll be a goal kick for SAFC. Zach Ryan doesn't believe it. SAFC says nothing to talk about. Let's move on, and they have a counter the other direction. Hernandez sends it out wide. Hawkinson dribbles towards the penalty area. Middle of the pitch, Hernandez to the penalty arc, tries a shot, deflected in the air, and it'll be a corner kick for SAFC.
I love that Jorge Hernandez decided to take that shot. Yes, we had the breakaway, but Loudoun was slowly getting white jersey by white jersey. They're back in that defensive lineup, slowing things down, and Jorge had the foresight to realize, hey, I'm going to have to just take this one by myself.
Jorge Hernandez will now take the corner. He has 2 assists on the evening. Goal in the 14th minute from Silva, and a goal in the 49th minute as Agudelo gave SAFC the lead. Looking for an insurance goal. Jorge Hernandez. Off the head of Omar. And then Hawkinson had it deflected away. No, they will say no touch there by Farouk, and he just sent it over the crossbar.
A good look at Hawkinson here and what he can do. Let's look back at that. Service comes in, the ball's deflected. He doesn't take a breath. It's a 1-touch hit, and that's what I love to see, is having the confidence to go for that despite the way the ball is spinning. Not much more you could have done there.
Foul there on Silva leads to the Loudoun United free kick, which Omar won't allow them to take quickly. Right on top of that, though, if Hawkinson had been a little bit more accurate, Farouk has done a solid job tonight, especially playing with a man down a good chunk of the evening.
Right, he can pat himself on the back, especially having to have shared time last season with Dane Giacomin.
Below. Couldn't quite get the clean pass off to Leggett, and then Leggett commits the foul, trying to win it back against Omar. So Wesley Leggett, one of the substitutions here for Loudoun United, a little upset thinking that there was contact before he could make a play on the ball. And he's whistled for the foul instead. Lambert restarts it back to Burks, and Kendall Burks will slow things down. Right back Lambert. Lambert able to intercept. Shannon Gomez turns upfield. Gomez sends it to some space. Hawkinson looking for the cross. Nicely punched out there by Learman, and it'll be I did not see the extracurricular in the penalty area, and it looks like we're going to have a conversation here as another yellow card's been shown. Katie, you saw that when you were pointing it out. I was looking to see what was going on with the throw.
That was completely off the ball. Looked like he was stepped on while he was down. Would need to see that one again to see exactly what happened. Had a couple of white jerseys surrounding him. Omar running in to defend his teammate. Let's look back at it here. The ball goes out. We're looking in that 5-yard box. There's a little bit of physicality. You got a hand up in the face. The crowd expresses their discontent. Looking like the ref is going to do too much about it. Of course, the coaching staff over there on the side, that bottom left part of the screen, arguing their case, understandably so. I'm trying to get that back line, wingers.
So just a yellow issued to Learman, if I'm not mistaken. And now Shannon Gomez trying to maintain possession for SAFC. I believe this was last touch there by Leggett, and another throw for San Antonio.
Excuse me, yes, a yellow card was issued. So locked into that replay.
And it was, as opposed to the first 2 yellow cards and the red card, it came out pretty quickly.
Right.
I think our official saw that one much more clearly than he saw the other 2 cards that were handed out this evening. So quite a bit of discipline here for Loudoun United. And Hankinson trying to leg this one out, but he's not going to catch up to it before Faroux sends it down the other direction. And you know, sometimes being chippy is the best way to play a man down, and it seems like that's sort of been Loudoun United's approach.
Right. I mean, you could let people play all around you, or you can stop play. Especially with the possession team, you want to stop play as often as possible because you don't want to be running and chasing the ball. So intelligent fouls are the way to go. Not a hand to the face in your box. Not a good idea.
Gomez. Hankinson one touch to near Hernandez, who sends it to space. Hankinson sent it across the pitch, and then there's a foul, as this one will be a yellow card issued here to Silva. He tripped up the man clearing it, Drew Skundrich. And that's the first yellow card issued to SAFC this evening.
Look back at that. He's got the touch. It's a bit away from him, but not that far away. Yeah, that's a lot of ankle. A lot of ankle, not a lot of ball there, Carl.
Do your ankles hurt just thinking about those kind of plays when you played?
Yeah, dear ankles, rest in peace. Mine especially. No longer functional.
Hugo Faroux running out of time for his team to tie this one up at 2. Way across midfield, Leggett heads it, but it'll be sent into the stands there by Silva. Hopefully that didn't hit a fan who was texting.
Right. Hope everyone saw that coming. Play continues on.
Well, you can't stop for a fan that wasn't paying attention. They know what happens when they sign those tickets, when they got those tickets.
Right. We've seen it happen in soccer before, where an upset fan will, or an upset player will drill the ball off the field only to hit a fan.
Dan Brock sends it into the 6. Manley had it lost at his feet, but it was punched away there. Cisniega saves the day.
Cisniega on his toes at all times. One, yes, got by him earlier today, but that one was not going to happen. That ball driven into traffic. A mistouch. Cisniega's there. Some good work there. And just like that, anything can happen.
The ensuing corner. Headed out by Burks. Leggett will be tripped up there on the pressure by Hernandez. So Vouleau volunteers himself to take the set piece, and back-to-back dangerous opportunities. First off the corner, now this attacking third edge set piece on the free kick.
Just inching their way down the field. Sometimes it takes a minute to readjust and find a way in. They seem to be doing that.
Florian Velo giving the okay to go. With the chip towards the 18. Leggett heads it high, and Cisniega comes down with the catch.
Great work there from Cisniega. I mean, two Loudoun players right there, both going for it. Defense needs to wake up a little bit, be a little more touch tight in those situations.
Lambert heads to the back line. Hernandez tries to play it as it was headed into touch there by Thomas McCabe. And SAFC will have the throw in the attacking third. And a quick substitution as the windows opens up. SAFC will be bringing in Jose Mulatto, and Mulatto will come into the match for Lucas Silva. So Silva scored the opening goal of the season for SAFC in the 14th minute. He exits here in the 80th minute. And now Jose Mulatto, 5'11", 187-pound forward from Colombia, previously played with Dallas FC, enters the match.
Coach mentions he's young, hungry, talented, ambitious, aren't they all? Also physically dominant. It's all about that separation speed, something you absolutely want there on the flank.
Agudelo with a nice move to get into the penalty area. To the penalty arc, the shot by Omar. Headed away, great defense there by Keegan Hughes. Keep that away from his keeper, Faroux.
Looks like they're gonna have Jose Mulatto go with more of a central striker approach. Hawkinson moves over to the left. Quite the versatile player.
Carter Manley gets it back from Agudelo, who grabs his knee as he hits the grass. He's back up and okay. Omar on the switch of the pitch here by SAFC.
Marcina also mentions Mulatto has a nose for goal. Just knows how to get in a scoring position. Let's see if he can make that happen here. Feels like the pace is picking up out of the back line a little more. Could be Hawkinson to thank for that. Nice quick pace ball right back. I think that's more of what you want to see.
You know, SAFC would always be content padding their stats, but obviously they wouldn't mind having one more goal either, as Agudelo breaks free. He has a one-on-one here. Cuts back. Extra pass here. Mudello had it punched away there by Faroux, and then it'll be sent the opposite direction. And SAFC could still be on the attack here as Hawkinson has it well wide.
Agudelo could have taken that one all on his own, was really selfless, passing that on to Mulatto. Tough when you're just getting into the game to have that big breakaway. And again, I think it's just a sign of still developing that early chemistry, learning each other, where you want the ball.
And nothing quite like game film afterwards, as it looks like a yellow card will be issued here to Robert Dambrot, who will be holding up the game as he wanted to throw in, and then he realized it wasn't Loudoun United's throw, so that's why he's getting the caution. The third yellow card issued here against Loudoun United.
Here's what got the call.
He doesn't even pay attention to the assistant, and he's also mad with the assistant, so it's probably that gesture. The officials always have each other's back as the third team on the pitch, and there's an injured player on the field for Loudoun United, as this will add some stoppage time here as the 83rd minute ticks away.
As time ticks down, of course, you're down a man, cramps will occur. Also nice to have a quick hydration break here with still quite a bit of time to go. Coach Martin taking full advantage of this moment. His 6th season with Loudoun United FC.
Can't quite make out from our angle who is the man down on the pitch. We can't tell you that he's wearing a white jersey though for Loudoun United FC. looked promising. 17th minute, they tied it up at 1. Opening goal of the season for Zach Ryan.
Zach Ryan is the one down on the field, trying to work out those calf muscles. Been there, done that, I'll say that much. Nothing like when you get a calf cramp. Sometimes a hamstring cramps along with it, and that's where you become a little more injury prone.
I don't believe I've ever gotten a cramp in my life, but they certainly don't seem like something I'd like to experience.
Oh man, no fun. Hydration is key, no doubt. But you can only do so much when you're down a man, and it's still early in season 2. Everyone trying to get the most quality out of 90 minutes. Yes, you can train in the preseason. You can train on your own in the off season, but at the end of the day, this is totally different.
Well, Jacob Erlinson exits and Abdalatef Abukura comes into the match for Loudoun United. So Abukura getting some minutes here, some fresh legs. As I imagine we have about 10 minutes left in this match. Set across the end line there, and will be a corner kick for SAFC. Like I said, San Antonio Football Club wants to add on to this 2-1 lead.
As they should. They should add as much cushion as possible. There have been way too many close calls for Loudoun. Loudoun United.
Hernandez lines up the corner. Lines it back post, intended for Omar, and the last one to get a head on it there was Velo, and should be a corner from the other side here for SAFC.
Tough thing to do, but I think SAFC could benefit from a little bit more movement prior to that ball being kicked. They're a little stagnant, trying to go in on one run. It doesn't leave a ton of time if you want to arc your runs into the 5-yard box. So if you start to move and shake things up before that ball's even played in, sometimes you can lose a man or two and find an open spot. Just a lot of stationary people here.
Hernandez will try from the other side. The corner. And whistles stop this play as Tainter gets a foot on it, and it looks like there's a scrum happening in the middle of the penalty area, and I think this foul will go against SAFC, so free kick for Loudoun United. I was watching that play through binoculars, so I did not catch the action happening in the middle of the pitch.
Looks like Mohamed Omar was right in the middle of it, but who knows?
Loudoun United will try a quick restart the other day. Leggett trying to leg this one out against Carter Manley, who shoves him to the grass, and it's gotten real physical here in the last couple of minutes. Leggett pushing away Carter Manley, who keeps him from the ball, and I think you see yet another dangerous set piece here for Loudoun United.
I wouldn't have called that one a foul. Again, you can't pay me to be a ref. Can't make anyone happy, but yeah, it's a bit of a push. I would say he took that push and ran with it, but hey, that's what you got to do in this situation. It's situational awareness. I can't blame him at all.
Trova Boney comes in here for SAFC as he actually has to wait up. He was announced here to come onto the pitch. It'll be after this corner kick next time his substitution window comes up. Abukura. Okay, now they let Boney comes in as there's a big miscommunication happening on the pitch. SAFC, I did not see who subbed out there. Doesn't matter. Abukura. It'll be headed out. Nicely deflected there by Carter Manley. And then recycling the service, just going wide. Thomas McCabe almost had an equalizer off of the half volley.
Right, Cisniega wasn't taking any chances despite that being really far outside that goal post.
So the exiting party that I mentioned for Trova Boney was Luke Hawkinson as he goes back to the SAFC bench.
Shannon switching to the left. Trova Boney switching to the right. Played that position late last season when he joined SAFC. Only, say, 3 games to go.
Physical aerial duel will be a foul called on Omar as grabbing his knee is Florian Velo, and Velo Comes up a little slowly. If nothing else, he sold the contact enough here for yet another set piece for Loudoun United as we're approaching the... Actually, we just started the 89th minute here, and Omar will come up with a tackle against Dambrot, and then Dambrot wins it right back.
Clean win from Omar.
Skundrich to the middle of the pitch. McCabe looking for the through ball. Leggett couldn't quite catch up to it, and then it'll be Burke sending it towards the edge of the attacking third. Quickly here, McCabe throws it in. Thomas McCabe. Hughes deflected there by Omar. Learman. Hughes.
Loudoun United with a good run of possession here. They spoke too soon. Bonnie in the mix.
And Boney sends it down the touchline where it'll be bounced out there by Thomas McCabe. It stays in play, and Boney will come up with it for SAFC as Manley boots it across midfield. Learman sends it back to Faroux. Faroux looking for a long punt. Doesn't see one, so we'll keep it short here for Hughes. Loudoun United looking for an equalizer here. Has been able to put together a solid few possessions.
Right. Faroux giving him a chance to build out of the back. Don't blame him there. You don't want to send it forward every time. Otherwise, this will happen. Comes right back down your throat.
Cisniega will send it across midfield. Back line will play it here as Hughes gives it up here to the right side. Learman. And right back to Faroux. Five minutes of stoppage time added on here.
5 minutes of stoppage time added to the second half.
Agudelo had it knocked away from him, and then Omar sends it in some space, and he was hoping that that was last touched by Loudoun United. Instead, it'll be their throw. SAFC looking for the first 3 points of the season if they can hold this result.
It'd be a huge moment for them here at home. New fans, new faces.
Crocketeers, among the best supporters here in USL Championship and American soccer. Hoping SAFC will have their first win, but here's a dangerous play as it'll be Cisniega coming up with the most clutch stop of the evening.
Right, Cisniega tested. Really showing out here, showing out big. I mean, you can argue that that first goal against him, it was through traffic, easy to be caught off guard in that situation, but every ball that he's been able to read, he has picked up on, and he's guarded so well.
Drew Skundrich almost had the equalizer, but instead, oh man, what could have been disastrous there on Mitch Tanner retreating back. It's instead just a great play there by Cisniega. And then a collision, no whistle as playing to the advantage here. Skundrich sends it in some space for Leggett. Leggett looking for the cross. Well defended there by Burks, all the way to the end line. Abukura had it knocked away from him, but it'll be a Loudoun throw. Abukura quickly back into the penalty area. High in the air by Lambert. And then off the head awkwardly for a throw in here, as that was unable to be played in the direction he wanted by Hughes.
Going back to Cisniega, it was also the wherewithal to press up long before that ball was passed back. He was there at the perfect time to win that tackle. It's a high IQ keeper.
Thrown for Loudoun United. Skundrich. Abakura had it taken away from him by Agudelo. Hughes, diagonal pass deflected by Omar, and then Skundrich sends it to the middle of the pitch. Omar's there to play it, and Agudelo heads it for Mulatto to send it into some area where it'll be eventually picked up by down broad end. Now Loudoun United working quickly the other direction. The counter. And then cleared out by SAFC. Headed out by Burks. The recycle, the service, and the equalizer.
I was just about to say Loudoun United relentless despite being a man down. Dogpile completely warranted there. They can absolutely pat themselves on the back. Cisniega unable to read that ball through traffic.
Florian Velo has started this match and played hard for 91 minutes, and he comes up with a big one here as it was knocked out by Mitch Tainer or Burks, and then Tainer couldn't keep it out of the back of the net, and the goal there by Velo equalizes it at 2. And now SAFC will really have to be aggressive to try and get the 3 points that were just taken away from them. They'll have to settle for 1 if this result holds.
Right, not a ton of traffic there, more of a mishit. This looks like a miscommunication, just a bit of a struggle there on the back line. The turnovers we've seen so far have been mostly on the back line and that connection to the midfield or back line to the keeper. So again, we can expect this stuff early on in season. New team, I'll probably say that 500 times here, but I mean, Loudoun United, a man down, coming back in extra time. That's iconic.
Well, the attacking third, SAFC, looking for the go-ahead goal, and the throw was awarded here to Loudoun United. Maybe about 20 seconds, 30 here, as Loudoun United will easily be content exiting Toyota Field with 1 point. Abakura. It'll bounce around as Boney had to go off of his back.
Lots of work to do here for San Antonio FC. It's really going to get back to just working on those fundamentals. It's not anything that can't be worked on.
The 4th yellow card shown here is taking too much time there. Skundrich will be whistled for it.
All odds working against them. They're used to it by now. They shrug that one off and hope the clock runs out.
That seemed to be their goal there. Our official glances down at his watch, and the referee can blow this one full time any moment. Boney with a long throw. Goes off the head of Hughes, and there's the whistle for full time. So escaping with a shorthanded goal to tie things up at 2. Loudoun United will make sure they exit San Antonio with at least a point. SAFC had 3 points well in hand, but then a stoppage time shorthanded goal by Loudoun United will give both teams a point in the standings after opening day. So, Katie, just some final thoughts here between this really kind of strange match that ended up being the draw.
Right, Loudoun United absolutely can pat themselves on the back. They played through the final whistle. You don't always see that so often. They relied on their depth. They brought some guys in who were able to handle business to keep that momentum going. All they needed was a run of possession in the last few minutes of the game, and it really worked out for them. San Antonio FC, it's early on in the season. A tie, not necessarily a bad thing, but lots of work to do there to just kind of clean things up.
Well, that'll do it from San Antonio at Toyota Field, where your final score is San Antonio FC 2, Loudoun United 2. For Katie Goodman and the rest of our production crew, I've been Carl Schoening. Thank you for joining us here at Toyota Field, where it was a fun one between San Antonio FC and Loudoun United. We'll see you next time here as SAFC and Loudoun United escape with a point each. See you soon. Thank you.